Hey, it's the Gundam Boy, and if you don't know me because this is a Monster Hunter video and I usually post Helldivers, my name's the Gundam Boy, and I'm gonna be telling you guys about how to fight Zoh Shia, because I see a lot of clips of people getting their ass beat. So, let's get straight into it. So, some breakable parts. We have the head, both wings, and the tail is severable, and you can break the forelegs. For doing a lot of damage, the wing arms and the head seem to take the most damage from all weapon classes. I'm gonna scroll slowly so you guys can read it, but just take some time, pause, and take notes. The book recommends that you use Dragon for its elemental attacks, but you can use anything from the statuses like Poison, Sleep, Paralysis, Blast, and Stun. But it doesn't look like Stun's doing too well over here. Here's a little note about which parts to aim for if you're looking for certain reward items. And here's the drop rate for all the items that could possibly come from killing this guy. Yeah, that gem is rough. But I would say that if that was the case, but I'm built different. And if you're curious, here's some of the unlockable titles you can gain. And just in case everybody's wondering what I'm wearing for this entire fight, I am already wearing the full Zoh Shia armor set and greatsword, but the fight that I started it with was the Gormagala was the armor set that I wore, and I used his greatsword to fight him. But in the footage you guys will see, I'll be wearing Zoh Shia armor. Oh, would you look at that? It's a guaranteed gem. But with that all out of the way, let's get into fighting Zoh Shia. Grab this throwable, you're gonna need it later. First thing to note, ghillie suits do not work. Which is fair, he doesnn have eyes. One thing I'd like to note when it comes to doing this fight is that it's not a sprint, as this monster will throw as many attacks as it can, and it will increasingly get worse. Why are you creeping like that? And this monster does track you pretty well, so you cannot just dodge willy-nilly. You have to do it very specifically. And this is where that Thunder Pod comes into use. And those Wilk crystals that are laying around on the ground can be turned into a Gatorade Frost Blast as long as you shoot it with the Thunder Pods, doing some sizable damage. And he can spawn a fair amount of these icy crags, which gives you some pretty good opportunities to counterattack if you have to run. And if you got the timing for it, you can set them off in his own face. And the crystals, if they are spawned very close to each other, can have a chain reaction, causing them to all explode. If you repeat this process over and over again, eventually you do enough damage to knock itself out. But you're limited on how much ammo you have. There is also Dragon Pods you could do this with. They do run on a reload time though, so eventually you'll have more slinger ammo. But for the meantime, you'll have to focus on fighting it the normal way. Even though you can abuse the use of these crystals, Zoh Shia can do it and do it better. In this one phase where all the crags come up, you can actually decrease how far its fire attack will reach you if you can take it out using the Dragon Pods or Electric Pods. Zoh Shia doesn't really have that much range without the Wilk crystals, so it's a good thing to try and abuse, as he can use it in the middle of fights as well. One of the easiest moves to predict is going to be its T-Rex charge, which is great for people who use the offset attack like I do to counter mid-charge. And the later phases of the fight do abuse the boulders, as they will do a shit ton of damage as they fall on top of them, and you have another one for an extra shot. But there's also a move you can punish when it does its overhead slam. After it does the second slam, its hands are open to a counter. But you can see I got a little too greedy with my attacks and fucked it up. And now that you smacked the white off of it, let's talk about its fire attacks. When it rears up on its hind legs, it will shoot a fireball at you, and that fireball can be very punishing, especially in the later phases. And you have to look out, now you can't hug its face as closely because it has a big ol' fire attack that if it hits you, it could punish you with the follow-up fireball. And it does this move a lot, and you have to be very careful on where you're standing. If it's already doing this fire breath attack and you still want to do damage, just go beat on its tail for a bit. If you have white sharpness, you can still get the yellow damage. Also has this giant move where it digs its claws in the ground and launches fireballs upwards, but that's pretty easy to dodge. It does do a AoE attack that you'll have to look out for because it's a mini version of its giant fire AoE, and the best thing you can do is either take out the crystals or run behind it. Or get out of range. It has a pretty small range this time. More you well in it though, it will start firing multiple fireballs, which if you get hit by the first one, it can be pretty hard to avoid the rest. And the lower the health gets, the more attacks it will chain together. And we're about to get electric, because now it goes full white fatalis on us, introducing some thunder attacks into the mix. Watch out for the lightning attacks that it calls down because it will track you in the last spot you're standing, so slower heavy weapons may get smacked around. And watch out for that head sweep it does because that attack hurts the most. Oh, also, look out for when it does the fake out move. And in this final stage of its fight, it is the most combo-heavy monster you'll see in a minute, as it will do a lot of setup attacks that could really punish you if you're not able to escape. And after all the 10 fights I've done, I think it's only in this phase where it's completely blacked out can you break the parts on the monster, like its head and its tail. But I'm not sure if you could do it sooner. This is just what I've recognized from my fights. But if you play it safe and precise, you can win this fight no problem. It's really easy. But let me know what I missed in the video, and let me know what you guys think. This is my first Monster Hunter video guide thing, and I'm not really too sure how to make these videos. But you guys have a good rest of your day, and good luck on your hunts.